The Fall of a Matriarch by Free. Segment 4, Celebrating Her Transition. Walking up to the doors, I was bombarded with family. One cousin in particular embraced me, and I don't know what it was, but something about his hug sent a flood of emotions through my vessel. The sobs began immediately. I missed them, but not in the physical sense. I missed the idea of family, which I once held dear to my heart. After the year I had experienced, though still early on, I knew I'd never get that back with these individuals. I had an intense feeling that with my aunt, I was burying my childhood, my memories, and my bonds. This cut deeper than any physical death could. Another cousin came out to get me, at my side, arm in arm, as if she knew I'd need the extra support approaching the casket. She was right, though initially I didn't know it. Walking into the funeral home, more family approached. I was eager and anxious, wanting to get to the casket as we were already late. I didn't want to miss seeing her one final time, even if breath was no longer lingering within her being. Still, I spoke and gave hugs as we slowly but surely made our way to the front. Approached by another cousin who grabbed a hold of my available arm. There were loved ones with Karen already, so we stood and waited our turn. I was ready, or so I thought. When it was our turn, my cousins began moving forward, and immediately I resisted, beginning to sob again. They gave me a moment and took a step. Again, I resisted. I didn't realize how tough this would be, and I felt every bit of it. I took a few more moments, focusing on my breath, and finally, I took the steps forward to approach this beautiful woman being laid to rest. First off, your girl was decked out. Her gown was so beautiful and most noticeable, but also her nails. If it's one thing Karen kept up was them nails. She looked gorgeous. While many would kiss her, hold, or pat her hand, I didn't feel it necessary. The lifeless body at this point was simply a symbol, a representation of her soul, which was indeed very much alive. For energy can be neither created nor destroyed. So I stood there, admiring her beauty, yet mourning the departure of her physical essence. This soul was no longer Karen D's. It was preparing to enter, if not had already entered, a new existence. I'd never see her at the coming family functions. I'd never hear her laugh, which I often replay to keep the remembrance. I'd never take another shot with her. All I had was the idea that her soul's purpose in this lifetime was complete. And to God, I hoped in the next she'd reap all that she'd sown. It was enough of what she did for our family, but after hearing many people testify to the woman she was in their lives, it was clear Karen not only mothered her 2 children and her 5 siblings, but a whole block of individuals. This woman was truly phenomenal, and everyone, absolutely everyone, was grateful. The service was exceptional, but like all things, came to an end. I never made it to the repast, though I had a tough time deciding to attend. It felt almost right, since that's the normal thing to do in these times. But it also felt like a forced family interaction with individuals who I'd felt didn't regard me as family in every sense of the word. So while I was disappointed, I had to check back into reality. I accepted the moment to celebrate Karen was now gone. We mourned together, and they'd offered me support as far as they were willing. I'd see them again soon, and not under these circumstances. So I recognized what was, and began the healing to that which was finalized. The fall of our matriarch, and the silent passing of relations I'd once revered. And trust me, one had nothing to do with the other. That is a story for another day. Until then, may God be with us all as we move through this human experience with a new reality. Some may never heal. Some may find peace with time. But one thing's for sure. Her imprint is felt. Her imprint is honored. To you, Karen Elise Dees. Thank you. Peace be to you in the next life, with love and reverence from the hearts of those you've stained. And so it is.